All right. I lost all my shit, so I'm gonna try to get through this quickly. I apologize. I had a better crit video, but we're gonna try to. I guess this will be a somewhat of a forgerous. That's not a word. This crit video is going to be a forgery of the better one, which I had recorded and lost. My mistake. Let's go. So I'm gonna rifle through these quickly since I did them. First, we had Thran Guy's Suckers Bet, which is a send up of the P.T. Barnum Suckers Born Every Minute. We got that. It's a circus in the future, though, so we have what is effectively a scam built on a lie, which I thought was a nice little twist on the format of what it was I was sort of asking for. So, a pretty cool little idea. Didn't leave me feeling punched or anything sort of effective like I've seen from other things this week from you, but otherwise, it's good. I like the sort of skeevy kind of tone of it. Then we move on to Trevor, which I didn't see the twist coming somehow. That it's not just Trevor, it's everybody. So we have a somewhat of a body snatcher kind of story. I like the way Trevor has a couple of few characterizations strewn throughout the story, so that was nice to see. The woodenness of the dialogue felt weird, and I didn't quite understand why it didn't flow. And then it's actually very similar to Us in the beginning when the character's like not snapping to the rhythm of the song, and you're like, what the fuck? This person can't like snap to the rhythm of a song, and then you get to the end, it's like, oh no, they can't because they're a pod person. So it was like kind of like that. And I got to the end, I was like, oh yeah, no, all these people are fucked. So that's kind of cool. And it's spooky as shit. It's a, you know, it works. It's and that ending where she pieces it together just so, I think is a pretty effective way to allow the reader to fill in the blanks and feel even more scared by it. Next up, we had Return on Investment. Right, this one. So this is the one. It dives much more into the technical aspects of forgery itself, which I found kind of interesting and liked. That it was about the very process of it. The tone is sort of being told very matter of factly, and yet it's almost as if the voice of the character, not you, Obliterati, but the voice of the character assumes whoever's listening to this knows more than presumably a layperson like myself who's reading the distance story might. So I think the story very intentionally kind of the sails over my head, and I think that was intentional. Anyone who's reading this in real life probably isn't going to be able to. I don't know how much of us know about all this stuff, and who knows. So, um, anyhow, a lot of assumptions and a lot of bravado in the tone. The tone all works. As far as the story itself, not entirely sure where that is, but it is nice to hear someone who feels like they are a sage in something pontificate. And however accurate the or reliable this person is, it's still a pretty cool story. Next, we have New Face. This is by Chernobyl Princess. Um, why is the billionaire paying for doppelgangers that he doesn't believe in? I didn't quite get that, but I also was a little confused about what would it be? The fifth sentence. In public, I confirm. So that's the person who's being paid. And then they say, you move your money, get a few surgeries, and you're free. So they're still talking to the billionaire there, right? Was the person not expecting to just die? It seems like they were supposed to die, but then they're trying to get out of the crematorium. So what? I don't get it. Were they imprisoned? Fault like weren't they just supposed to die? I'm confused. Yeah, that one kind of confused me. But um, neat premise. Then we move on to Alexandrio's suspicions. The tone of this, I think, is sort of what makes it work and is effective. We clearly have, I think, what is intended to be an unreliable narrator who speaks in certainty, but they freak out about wires in a milk carton, then they equally freak out about wires being in a car. And one of those places should have wires. I believe you hotwire a car, right? So that is a place where wires could be. And then we sort of put a button on it with them meeting with a mental health professional. And then, yes, the whole story suddenly becomes confirmed unreliable. And I think that works. It's told very conversationally. It's told in a way where a person is like sort of piecing it together really, really quickly. You know what? It's like it's that kind of rat-a-tat-tat tone. I'll say it again, and I think it's a strength of your writing. I don't think you need the italics as much as you might think you do. Trust your reader to read the words you're reading the right way. Like, I pulled that baby apart and found lots of interesting wires, ripped them all out. Well, if they ripped them all out and you've already talked about wires, I don't even think you need, honestly, I don't even think you need the word interesting nor italics. Like, I tore that baby open and found lots of wires, ripped them all out. Like, yeah, that's who your character is. Again, I think you don't need them. Just trust your writing, or again, pick different words. But more often than not, I think it can be distracting. So just consider that. Um, Otherwise, though, a fun, good story, and I like the premise of kind of the world around you being a forgery. So this sort of had shades of Truman Show, different things like that. Pretty cool stuff. And then last, now we're up to Quiet Feet, and this is where I lost the feed, so I'm going to pause. All right, and we round out, I believe, yes, the week, not the week, the prompt, with Behold a Man by Quiet Feet. A fun one. I appreciate the idea of building a human. I do think that the title, if you're going to title it that on a week when we know that it's about forgery, you're kind of telling us what the forgery is going to be. And that sort of steps on the punchline that's like halfway through, no, even more than halfway through your story. So I wouldn't have necessarily chosen that. Or if you were going to choose that, you know, have the characters realize it sooner because it sort of kind of ruins the mojo of the story. Um, the punchline sort of at the end, where clearly we have some kind of a human chicken hybrid, is indeed funny. Sort of reminds me of what is it, the Rick and Morty thing, where the guys, where oh god, Rick steps off, gives them all the finger and the slow thing. Oh my god, I'm getting incoherent. But yeah, it's funny. I appreciate this for what it is. It's always sort of nice to have like distance from the subject and be able to laugh at it with that objective distance. So the story is effective. I did enjoy it. Um, funny in parts and smart in others. So well done, Quiet Feet. Good story.